It is NFL Wild Card Weekend, and we're going to get into it, plus a very special guest. Let's go. All right, James, it is season 5, episode something. Hold up.
20.
Episode 20. All right, good.
20 episodes down. Wild. We had a good episode. We haven't really gone in depth much on NFL this year, and now that we're at playoffs, we can. So talk a lot of football today. We've got a good guest on. We got our very special guest on.
Keep talking.
So yeah, that's about it. And then I think we're gonna look over college football too. Finished up last night. We have a national championship, and
probably a national champion.
Most likely.
If we're being honest.
Alright. So yeah.
Alright, let's do it. So we're gonna do quick reactions to the semifinals that happened. So you got the scores for me?
I can pull them up.
So Miami beat Ole Miss 31-27.
Honestly, I don't know.
I think it was the score. I think it was that. Yeah.
31-27.
31-27. So it was a really weird game. It felt like Miami was dominating the whole time, but Ole Miss was still in the game and they were winning down the stretch.
Yeah, especially in the first half.
But it felt like Miami was killing them, and they just weren't. It was kind of weird. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think in the first half mainly it felt like Miami was dominating, but Ole Miss was just hanging around. And then the second half, you finally saw Trinidad start to make some plays. Like, Trinidad's a freaking rock star, dude. He was pretty incredible in this one, but I got to give a lot of praise to Carson Beck. Like, that last drive was a
He's pretty terrible
drive. Well, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
nothing matters up until the last drive. Truly, like in that game, nothing mattered. Like, you can go win the game on the last drive, and he did. He won the game for Miami, pretty much, like single-handedly. He was great on the last drive. I got to give a lot of praise to him because no matter what he went through this year, no matter what he went through his entire career, he's going to a national title game. So, like, everyone can, like, disrespect Carson Beck and continue doing it, but, like, Carson Beck is going to be, he's going to go to the NFL. Like, he's going to be maybe a good, successful backup quarterback. Like, but he's also going to a national title game. So, and he's had one of the greatest runs in college football playoff history. I mean, they beat A&M, Ohio State, and now Ole Miss, and they're going to a national title game and try to upset the Hoosiers.
Yeah, we'll see if that happens. But yeah, I thought Miami's done a really good job. They obviously, in this first half especially, the D-line was able to impact the game. Like it's what I said beforehand, right? The D-line needed to impact the game, and they did early on. Trinidad didn't even matter. Like, I don't know how they were even getting yards at that point, but they were scoring. It was always like in the first half, I felt like one big play, then they get stopped and they kick a field goal or something like that, right? Because they had 3 field goals in the first half.
Who?
Ole Miss.
No, they scored a touchdown.
They had
one touchdown. 2 field goals and a touchdown.
Okay, well they ended up with 3 field goals.
Because they had 13 and a half.
Yeah, so solid game for Miami. Ole Miss played good, but Miami's, especially down in the trenches, was just too much for them. And they got tired out because their defense was on the field almost the entire game. And Miami was able to put them away late because their whole defense was exhausted.
Yeah, on that last drive especially, they were just dog tired. And I think now you got to look into what's Ole Miss next step. Like, they're top 10 in the transfer portal right now. They're still looking into getting guys, and it'll be interesting to see. Obviously Trinidad didn't get his waiver. Obviously Kwan Lacey is most likely coming back. He signed his thing, but you never know at this point in college football. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what Ole Miss team looks like next year, going into the full Pete Golding era, to see if this team can try to replicate some of what they've done the past couple of years.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I don't know how good they're going to look, but anything could happen. Pete Golding, a good motivator. He's going to do well in recruiting.
He's killing it in recruiting right now.
We will see. It's also the high of Ole Miss right now helps a lot, obviously. And so I'll be interested to see how that recruiting sustains over time, because they're probably not making the playoff next year. So if you don't make the playoff, then what does the recruiting look like? I don't know. But yeah. So you want to move into the next game?
Yeah. Next one was a blowout. This is in the Peach Bowl. Indiana won 56-22 against the Oregon Ducks. I mean, my first reaction was just kind of I feel like we keep we don't realize, like, we're like, Indiana is a very good football team, right? We knew that coming in, but I feel like we don't realize how good they are. Like, I think I just look up, and it's like Mendoza's got 200 yards and 5 touchdowns. And he's insanely efficient, and they're running the ball well, and their defense playing incredible, and they're like, I still cannot believe how good they are. I can believe that they've won, but I can't believe, like, the level they are getting to. It's insane to me, because, like, this team on paper, once again, is good, but it's not, like, 16-0 good. Like, it's just crazy to think about. I still cannot fathom my brain of how good they are.
Yeah, Kurt Cignetti's doing an amazing job. 2 years, 26 wins at this point is just insane. And for Oregon, it was just the turnovers in this game. Oregon outgained Indiana in this football game. So the fact that, like, but they just kept turning the ball over. Indiana had consistent short fields inside the 20, inside the 10. Like, they had the pick six, they had the block punt, they had the multiple fumbles, they had an interception. That was just the pick six. But they had a few fumbles, they had block punt, they had pick six. So it kind of just unraveled for Oregon, and their offense didn't look terrible. It was just the turnovers that were killing them.
Yeah, I mean, it was exactly what we said would happen. For Indiana to, like, blow them out in this game, that's exactly what would have to happen. You have to speed Dante Moore up. He'd have to make mistakes. They were going to make mistakes. Like, the special teams for Indiana was incredible tonight in every facet. And it was very similar to last week against Bama. Like, Indiana dominated in every state of the game. Offense, defense, running game, passing game, coaching, special teams. Literally every single thing. And that's what got them the win.
You can check me on this, but I think Indiana had, like, under 350 yards in this game, and they scored 56 points.
362 yards. Oregon had 378.
So, like, the fact that they scored 56 points with that little yards is insane. That just shows how many, like, short fields they had. Mendoza had to throw for 20 yards every drive, and they would have 7 points.
Yeah.
Interesting to see how they match up with Miami. Definitely a weird game. I feel like all the games in Miami are just weird because of the way that they play.
Yeah.
I'm sure Indiana's going to win. We're going to talk about that next week. But, yeah, you got anything else? Good year from Oregon.
Really.
Dante Moore, this is probably going to push him to come back.
Yeah, I'm really interested. That's a really big decision. It's also a big decision for other quarterbacks in the draft and teams in the draft. Like, do we wait till next year if Dante Moore doesn't declare? Do we take a swing on Trinidad if he does end up going to the draft, which most likely he is?
I'd say he probably wins the case in court.
Maybe, but right now, there's a very good chance he's going to the draft. The best chance is he's going to the draft.
I would disagree with that. Okay, you can.
Cool. All right.
You were talking about something.
No, I'm good. I don't have anything.
Okay. Yeah, I think Dante Moore's a really crazy decision because now you have to think about where you're going. You're probably looking at New York, and that's not the Giants. So, like, that's probably not the place you want to be. How much does that matter to him? You're probably making almost as much money in college now as you are at the second overall pick, right?
No, you're not.
Almost as much.
No.
He's gonna make $5 or $6 million in college, and he's gonna make what, like?
He's probably making like 12 to 13.
You can look up what the second pick draft slot is, but so definitely a big decision. But I think he's gonna come back. I think this is gonna drive him to be back.
$11 million.
$11 million. So you're probably doubling your pay if you go to the draft. But how much does that matter to him? How much does winning in college matter to him? And just avenging this loss is huge. So, I think he might come back now. I'd say he probably will. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I also think Dante Moore throughout his whole college process has been very mature of the way he's done things. Like, he sat a year at Oregon because the UCLA thing didn't pan out. He originally committed to Oregon, then he went to UCLA because he wanted to start his freshman year. He was not great, so he came here. And then he came to Oregon and he sat behind Dylan Gabriel for a year. He was fine doing that, and it worked out very well for him. And now this year, he had a pretty good year. He was pretty efficient. Now he still has some mistakes and some things to iron out, and that's where the maturity comes in to come back next year and perfect your game and then go to the
and we don't even know, like, what if he would be the second overall pick. Like, that's the thing. Like, nobody knows because that's just the projection, and Dante Moore really hasn't been that good this year. So, like, if you're looking at intangibles and stuff, yeah, he has that, but he's also not been great. So, it's interesting to see how that pans out, especially if he goes to the draft, because he's a guy that could fall, like, out of the first round, I think, easily. So, anyway.
No, he wouldn't fall. Like if he went this year?
If he went this year, I think he could. Because you just don't know. We all thought Noah Shador comes out of the first round. That's different.
But it's not $11 million. Sorry, that's the First pick in the second round. It's $24 million.
24 million? No. Oh, a year?
No, not a year.
Yeah.
You get on your rookie contract.
Yeah, I'm talking about per salary.
Oh, okay. I'll look. Yeah, you get a $24 million signing bonus.
Okay, what's the salary? Do you know?
It's a $40 million contract.
So it's 10
probably
million.
over 4
That's
years.
$10 million a year. Right.
And then you get a $24 million
That's
signing
a lot of money. Okay, anyway,
So
yeah, definitely a big decision with that much money on the table. Okay, let's move into wildcard weekend.
All right.
We're gonna give 2 things to look for in each game. We're gonna go 6 games, and then we're gonna do a recent rundown, and then have our guest on to pick the games. So, start with, I did it in order of games. So,
Okay.
the Rams versus the Panthers, the 5 seed in the NFC at the 4 seed in the NFC. Panthers hosting a playoff game, which is crazy. For Carolina, my thing to watch for is just what will their run game look like? Because this is a really good D-line they're going against in the Rams, and you're going to have to take the pressure off Bryce Young, right? Bryce Young has not been very good this year. He has not been very good in his career. And so their run game is going to have to help out a lot with Rico Dowdle, Chuba Hubbard. Like, they're going to need to have a really efficient game on the ground if they want any chance in this game.
Mine for the Panthers is kind of just a feel thing, and it's you got to play off your home crowd in a way. Like, I'm interested to see how they do it because they've been so good at home this year. Like when they beat the Rams earlier in the regular season, that home crowd played a big role. Like they are really good at home. That's how they won the division. Is they won their games at home. So I think that's a big
won the
deal.
division by losing.
Yeah, you're right. And then but they're pretty credible at home. So
okay, my key for the Rams, or I guess thing to watch, is will midseason Stafford return? Because, I mean, he went through a stretch in the season where he was like 20 touchdowns, 0 interceptions over like 5 games or 7 games or something like that. So, and he looked really good last week, but he was obviously tapering off down the stretch, throwing more interceptions, not looking as efficient. But he looked really good last week versus Arizona, which how much does that say? But Carolina's got good defense. You got to take care of the ball. And if midseason Stafford returns, I don't see this game being anywhere near close.
I just say Rams gotta stay disciplined in this game. Like you gotta you play your game and you win pretty much. Like if you run the ball, if you are efficient in the pass game, you don't have to take big shots. Like you don't have to. You just play your game. Just be normal. Be the normal Rams team that we've seen. Now in the next couple rounds, you're gonna have to play to a higher level, obviously, because they're starting to you're starting to see a lot of cracks in this Rams team. But against this Panthers team, I don't know if those show as much, especially in a playoff game with Matthew Stafford. So just play discipline and play your game.
All right, 7 seed Packers, 2 seed Bears. So for the Bears, I said, what does Caleb Williams look like in his first playoff game? Obviously, the big stage, first time here, but against this weekend pass rush too. Like Micah Parsons is not on the Packers right now. He's obviously towards ATL, so that's a huge loss. So you kind of saw that in that last game, right? Caleb was able to sit in the pocket. He was able to make plays, especially in that last play of the game, the deep shot. So. How does Caleb look? How much can he take advantage of this weekend pass rush? Because I think there's an opportunity for them to really open this game up with the offense.
Yeah, mine's about the rivalry. You got a historic NFL rivalry in your first round. You got 2 really good teams. You got a young team, and you got a team that's been there before. They're both young teams, but you have one that's been there, one that hasn't. You got a young head coach on the other side with an elite head coach on the other side. It would be a fun game just because of that rivalry. It would be interesting to see kind of who makes plays down the stretch. That is my biggest question because I just don't really know who it's going to be. Like, I don't know if Caleb's going to do it. I don't think Jordan Love's going to do it. I don't really think Caleb's going to do it. I just don't know. Someone's going to have to do it. I think it'll be a close game.
Matt LaFleur is going to get out there and do it himself.
Maybe, yeah.
So, mine for the Packers is just like, what does Josh Jacobs look like in this game? Because he's been very bad versus the Chicago Bears, not Cubs. This season. I looked at both his stats. They were putrid. He barely got the ball at all in their last game. So, I think this is especially important because the run game is so important for opening up the game for Jordan Love. Like, he's one of the quarterbacks that just has to have a run game to be good. And he can be very good, and you've seen it in the playoffs before, where he's able to just have a run game, and then they have to obviously honor it, and then he can just tear you up. But if they know he's passing, he's going to have a rough night. So I think Josh Jacobs is a really big part of this offense, just like Aaron Jones was in the past, of opening up this offense in the playoffs, especially.
Yeah, I agree. I think the running game matters a lot in this one just because of like the weather and like the home field advantage for the Bears. Like for the Packers, you're going to have to run the ball. I also think turnovers are going to matter a lot. Like who's going to turn the ball over pretty much whoever wins the turnover game wins. Whoever wins the turnover battle wins. Most of the time, that's how football works.
Yeah.
But I think in this one it plays a bigger role just because I think teams can get out of their feel or their emotions if they turn the ball over, especially this young Bears team. If the Packers, Jordan Love gets in his head a lot. Like if Jordan Love makes a mistake early, I don't really see him recovering. So it'll depend on who can turn the other person over and get in their head more. And we'll see what happens because once again, it's going to be a lot of like trash talking. This is a big rivalry game. It'll be a fun one.
Yeah, for sure.
Field, it's going to be a playoff game.
It's going to be
crazy.
Picking these games is a lot of fun. All right. 6 seed Bills at the 3 seed Jaguars. Who expected this coming into the season? But for the Jaguars, like I said, can the Jags magic carry into the playoffs, or can the Buffalo defense crack the code? Because like it's been crazy recently how good this Jaguars offense has been, and it doesn't really make sense. So like, if anyone's gonna like be able to figure this out, it's the Bills. I think with the guys they have in there, and obviously their defense isn't the most talented, but I think they're always really good at playing to their opponent and stopping their opponent when it matters on defense. Like, they're just always solid. And I think that can really be... I mean, if they're just solid in this game, that's probably going to win them the game. And the Bills have been really good against the pass this year. So, Trevor Lawrence, obviously, they've thrived off passing the ball. Their running game hasn't been great. So, doesn't matter at all, though, that the Buffalo defense is good versus the pass. Because are the Jags just that good? We're going to see. This is going to be a really telling game for the Jaguars. Or maybe I'm just a hater. We'll see. And then also, I need ETN's going to need to have a big role in this game because, like I said, the Bills have a really good pass defense. And their rush defense isn't great. So, ETN's going to need to play a big game.
Yeah, similar to what you said, it's two hot offenses coming into this one. Like, the Jags have been pretty freaking incredible. Like, it has been insanely fun to watch them. They've been one of the most fun teams down the stretch. In the Bills, they were kind of finding their stride. Now, there were a couple, like, miscues. Obviously, James Cook's been incredible this year. Josh Allen's kind of finding a stride. So, two offenses coming in that are hot. I'm interested to see which one outplays the other one, which I think it's very possible that the Jacksonville offense outplays the Bills offense. It is very possible. This offense is pretty incredible. And I'd say for the Jags, you don't have to get Josh Allen on the ground, but you have to keep him contained. Like, you don't have to get a sack every time. Like, you got Josh Allen on Josh Allen. Josh Allen on the Jaguars, Josh Hines Allen has to play a really, really big role in this one. Like, it's just chasing around Josh Allen. It's not like sacking him. It's just kind of keeping him contained. Those 5-yard runs instead of 15-yard runs. Those little plays can win you games. And I think for the Jags, that's crucial.
Yeah, kind of what you just said. My second thing was, do the Jags have an answer for Josh Allen and James Cook? Because no one really can. I feel like at this point, James Cook's been so good this year, 1,600 yards on the ground, probably another few hundred through the air, and Josh Allen's just the best player in football, I think, right now. So, also interested to see where they focus more in this game. Do you focus more on the pass game? Do you stuff the box for James Cook or the QB run? And then, because if you do that, Josh Allen's going to take the top off you, and if you drop back, James Cook's going to run for 200 yards. So, interesting to see what they do on defense to try to stop them because it's really difficult.
Yeah, you're right. That's all I got.
All right, 6 seed Niners at 3 seed Eagles.
Can I say game of the week?
I would say Bills Jags. I don't know. It depends on what Eagles come to play. We'll talk about that in a minute. But you can go ahead first.
Yeah, I mean, this is another home field advantage thing. Like, the Eagles are strong at home. They were strong at home in the playoffs last year. 2 years ago, they were strong at home. This team is good when they play. They have home field advantage, and I think that plays a crucial role for the Eagles. Just because if the 49ers can't get stuff going and the Eagles are playing off the crowd and they get in a groove, this game's going to be over in the first quarter. That's kind of how the Eagles play. They stuff you out, and especially playing behind that home crowd, it'll play a big role.
Yeah, it's definitely a really interesting game. I mean, my thing is, can Philly and their D-line limit Christian McCaffrey? Can they limit this scheme? Because, I mean, watch the Seahawks tape. The Seahawks just give up 3 points against them. So, it's doable, right? But I can't say you can stop Christian McCaffrey, but you can definitely limit him and keep him contained. And that's huge for them. And, yeah, at least make Purdy beat you. Do not let CMC just win the game. Like, if you're going to lose to somebody, lose to Brock Purdy, not to Christian McCaffrey. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes.
Yeah. I think for me, it's taking a look at that 49ers defense, which we have talked about so much this year. Like, that is a very young defense. Robert Saleh had his boys playing. Like, they only gave up 13 points to the Seahawks. Now, they lost 13-3. But it was kind of crazy. We haven't seen a game this year where the Niners' offense did not come to play and the defense did. So I think the defense actually could, the defense could play really well in this one against the Eagles' offense that sputters at times. Like, I think Robert Saleh could cook up something really good. I think that the 49ers' defense obviously is very young, which could hurt them in the long run. But in this game, if they just play hard and they play how they've been playing the past couple of weeks, I see them hanging in this game, honestly, if their offense isn't flowing because of their defense.
Yeah, I kind of, just to play off what you just said, my second thing is, like, this game will be decided by Philly's offense versus San Francisco's defense. I think we kind of know what we're going to see from the 49ers offense versus the Eagles defense. They're not going to score too much, but they're going to score some because great defense, great offense, right? But these are two really inconsistent units. Like, the Philadelphia offense and San Francisco defense have both been extremely inconsistent in this season. So, who will come to play, right? Because at times you see Philly's offense go drop 30. At times you see San Francisco's defense hold the Seahawks to 13, or they give up 40 to the Bears. So, very interesting to see who comes to play because that's going to decide the game.
That's right. All right.
I'd say this might be game of the week. Chargers at Patriots. It's the most interesting game, I think. It could go a lot of different ways.
Bills Jags was the most interesting for me. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. There's all three of these games are insanely interesting. So my thing for the Chargers is just how much is Justin Herbert going to be under pressure? Justin Herbert is an MVP candidate this season. Justin Herbert has been amazing, and he's had the worst O-line in the league the whole year because his O-line is so hurt, and he's still been really good. So how does that continue, right? Because the O-line is terrible, obviously, right now because they've been so hurt. And so the Patriots need to exploit that. They have to get after Justin Herbert and make him feel it and give him no time back there. And that's how you just kind of stop the Chargers at this point. Because if you let Justin Herbert step back there, he's gonna beat you.
Yeah. Mine's similar. Mine's kind of the Chargers' weapons on offense in general. I think the Chargers have been overlooked a little bit this year because of the way they've used their weapons. Like, they have so many of them, and they don't, just go to one person.
They just spread it out.
Like, Quentin Johnson and Ladd McConkey have both been very good this year. They've both been inconsistent. They have Omarion Hampton back. Obviously, Justin Herbert's been playing well. Like, they have a bunch of guys, like Arondé Gadsden, who hasn't had a great last stretch this season. But the Chargers have a lot of weapons on offense. And I think with the Patriots defense, you have to hit them from everywhere, which is exactly what the Chargers do. So I think the question is not getting complacent and going to one person. It's spreading it out like you always do. And against the Patriots defense, that Vrabel's going to cook up something. It might be kind of tough, but I'd say stick to your game and go to your weapons.
Yeah, even Trey Harris has been one of the best rookie receivers in the league this year.
No,
so
he hasn't, but
he's
been good the last couple
He's
weeks.
Been really good. So, and he's one of the best blockers, receivers already in the league. So, you mentioned Keenan Allen. They also have him. Yeah.
He kind of has fallen off, though. But yeah.
Yeah, he was really good at least to start the season, taking on my King Ladd McConkey's target to bite and maybe lose fantasy. Anyway,
that made you lose
I think a lot of things maybe lose fantasy this year. So can the Chargers force Drake May into mistakes? And obviously probably not. Drake May isn't really good.
Not make mistakes.
But again, it's his first playoff game, right? There's going to be nervousness. There's going to be jitters. There's going to be opportunity to create turnovers, which the Chargers have been very good with this year. They've created a lot of turnovers, especially in the interception game. It was 19 interceptions or something. So they have been able to pick a lot of guys off. Can they do it to Drake May? Probably not, but we're going to see.
Yeah, mine's kind of an overall aspect, and for me, this is a battle of situational football. 3rd and 4. What's the play call for the Patriots? Right?
Drake May.
Random things like this. I think those kind of random situations, 4th and 1, we're at the 40. Do we go or do we kick? Those kind of things, I think those kind of things is what makes this game. Just because it's two incredible coaches that are going to have incredible schemes ready for it. And two really good quarterbacks and two really good offenses. So it'll be interesting to see just in specific situations, what does each team do? Because both teams have made a ton of mistakes in play calling, and they've also made incredible calls this year. Especially the Chargers have been incredibly inconsistent with their play calls. Harbaugh's been good at times, but at other times he hasn't. So we'll see what happens, and it'll be interesting to see kind of just what happens on the specific situations.
Yeah, for sure. Is that all you got?
Yep.
All right. Last game, 5 seed Texans at the 4 seed Steelers. This might be the worst game of the week, other than maybe Rams Panthers, but I don't know. It might be the worst game to watch. So,
yeah,
for Houston's like, can the Houston offense just do enough? Like, they've had a lot of problems this year. Obviously, they've been having a lot of good games as well, right? They've been pretty inconsistent. They need to show up to play. They need to just do enough. You don't need to do a lot, right? It's the Steelers' offense against this defense. You don't need to do a lot. If you score like 25 points, I think you win this game pretty easily. So, can they do enough? And that's a big thing to watch.
Mine is kind of like, we know Houston's going to get to Rodgers. Like, it's going to happen multiple times in the game. The question is, how much is it going to happen? Because if it is happening like twice every drive, this game will be over in the first quarter, right? Like, that's where it comes to play. It just depends on how much it happens. It depends on how much they can just limit Will Anderson and Neil Hunter, because they've both been like insane off the edge. Like, they are both Pro Bowlers. They are both probably top 5 edge rushers in the league this year. So it'll just depend on how much it is, just because you have to limit damage.
Yeah, for sure. And my kind of thing kind of plays off what you just said. Is, can Aaron Rodgers take this game over? He took the game over last week against the Ravens and won them the game, other than, obviously, MVP Tyler Luke. Which I'll talk about in a minute. But, so, like, the only chance they have versus this defense is if Aaron Rodgers does Aaron Rodgers things and kind of takes over this game and is amazing. So that's a big thing to watch. Like, if Aaron Rodgers doesn't have one of the games of his life, they can't win this game at all.
Yeah, I agree. And I think the other thing that both teams have actually been really good at this year. So obviously both teams have had drives where they end on 3 and outs a lot. Like, that has happened a lot. But when they have good drives and they get in the red zone, they score. So I'll be interested to see who can get in the red zone more. Because, like, the Texans have something crazy, like an 85% touchdown rate when they get in the red zone. It's, like, insane. And the Steelers aren't that crazy far off. So if they get in the red zone, they're probably going to score. It just depends on who gets there more. That kind of plays off the offense and plays off Aaron Rodgers and C.J. Stroud. Mainly it's a quarterback battle in this one, offensive-wise, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, so before we get into the recent rundown, let's check out the futures draft, which is so insane. Like, we did this on Halloween, so it was not like at the beginning of the season or anything. We had 2 months of data here, and Jaguars didn't get picked. Panthers didn't get picked. Those are 2 division winners that didn't get picked. I think all the other playoff teams did. Maybe. And then, did Ravens get picked?
Steelers get picked?
I picked the Steelers. The Ravens got picked, though, yeah, by Will. Okay, so Will is winning right now because he has both the 1 seeds, but he picked the 1 seeds in the 4th and the 6th round. His top 3 picks are not in the playoffs. He picked the Colts, the Buccaneers, and the Ravens. None of them are in the playoffs. Then he went Broncos and Seahawks in the 4th and the 6th, and Bears in the 7th. So that's what's kind of saving Will right now, are the 3 playoff teams. And he's currently in the lead with 12 points because he has both 1 seeds, which is really big in this futures draft. We have the rules up for you right now, or the scoring. There's still a lot left to do, obviously. Playoff win will get you a couple, being the MVP, which, James, you have the Patriots.
It's going to be
and I have the Rams, so that's going to be interesting. And then, obviously, being an MVP finalist, and then awards other than that. So, James, you're at 4 points. You have 3 playoff teams as well. One of them won their division, so 49ers, Texans, Patriots. And then
I got some sleeper teams. Insane.
Yeah, and then I have 8 because I have 6 playoff teams. Only 2 of them win the division. So I ended up with Eagles, Bills, Packers, Rams, Chargers, Steelers as my first 6 picks. So I'm very happy with that because of the way this all went for other people. Like James's top 2 picks, Will's top 3 picks didn't make the playoffs. So I'm happy with that. Gonna need some playoff wins though because I'm still behind Will. Which we'll see. I mean, I have Steelers. They're probably not winning, but I have definitely have some teams that can win. So
yeah,
it's interesting to see how this plays out. I think I'll probably gonna win just based on numbers, the pure numbers at this point. I'm probably gonna get those playoff wins.
So it's interesting. So,
but we will see.
I've got Niners, you've got Eagles, so that'll determine. I've got Pats, and you've got Chargers, that'll determine, and Texans, Steelers.
Yeah. So I mean,
so if I sweep you in these 3, then
it could happen. Definitely. Because the only team Will has this week is the Bears, and then he already got the points for the other 2. So it'll really be telling on who's probably gonna win after the wild card weekend. I don't know. I think it's gonna be very close, at least between me and Will, if not James. If James can sneak in there as well with his 3 teams that they all win. So interesting to see how that goes. Anyway.
All right. Let's move into our next segment. Got a lot to talk about. Cue music.
Indiana and Miami are going to play for the national title next Monday in Miami. Did I say next Miami? No, next Monday in Miami. I don't know. The Steelers They won the AFC North on the back of Tyler Luke's missed game-winning field goal. The Panthers lose to the Bucks, but they win the division anyway. So, cool. Broncos and the Seahawks secure the 1 seed, which we just talked about. And the wildcard weekend is this weekend. We talked about that already. Notable portal quarterback destinations that have already been determined. Drew Mestamaker to Oklahoma State. Rocco Beck to Penn State. Alonzo Barnett to UCF. Brendan Sorsby, Texas Tech. Josh Hoover, Indiana. Byron Brown, Auburn. Austin Simmons, Missouri. Anthony Calandria, Nebraska. Jackson Arnold, UNLV, which is weird. Then GJ Lagway, Baylor, but he says he's still making visits even though he's already committed. Whatever. Yeah, weird. Fired NFL head coaches. You have Falcons firing Ricky Morris. Dolphins firing Mike McDaniel. Browns firing Kevin Stefanski. Raiders firing Pete Carroll. Cardinals firing Jonathan Gannon. And Ravens firing John Harbaugh. Again,
So are there any left?
all these guys, we have an internship open. Especially you, Pete Carroll. You're not coming back. The Raiders secure the draft's #1 pick. They'll be followed by Jets, Cardinals, Titans, Giants, who fell all the way down to 5 after winning their last 2 games. Myles Garrett breaks the single-season sack record with his 23rd sack. And then Trae Young was dealt to the Wizards for CJ McCollum and Corey Kispert. Can I say both teams lost this trade? This is pretty weird. And Anthony Davis may miss months with a hand injury. The Miami Marlins, they deal Edward Cabrera to the Cubs to Chicago for the #1 overall prospect in the Cubs organization, Owen Casey, plus 2 other prospects. Casey will become the #3 prospect for the Marlins. And then free agent outfielder Max Kepler, given an 80-game PED suspension. Yeah, I knew something was off when he was jacking homers for the Phillies last year. So James, where will Sam Levitt land?
Oh, great question. Honestly, I think it's interesting. I think he's taking just a road trip and he's waiting on that Oregon decision because I think he wants to go to Oregon. Now, if Dante Moore comes back, which I think right now maybe it's like 50-50, but maybe it's leaning towards he's coming back. So let's say he does. It's between LSU, Miami, and Tennessee probably. I'm going to be honest. I don't know if LSU gets him. I really don't know. I think it's possible. Like I think Lane's putting in a lot of work. I think it's very possible. But I'm gonna go with just cause like recency bias. He might want to go to Miami, so I'm gonna go Miami.
So the same thing. I said Miami as well. I think just seeing the success and seeing who the quarterback is there and the success they're having, they could definitely be taken to another level with Sam Levitt. And just I think LSU thing is probably sailed. And if Oregon and Dante Moore stay together, then it's either Tennessee or Miami. I think he's gonna leave Miami there. So my guess will be Miami.
Yeah, if Dante Moore declares it's Oregon, like he's gonna go to Oregon.
I think Miami's definitely more in the mix than people think.
For sure.
So
he's on his visit right now. Like he's on the way there today.
Yeah.
So we don't really know yet what his feelings are, but I mean, I assume they're pretty good.
Let's get into our picks. Miles, you wanna jump in here? He's the champion, people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can take that trophy. You can touch it. It's yours for the next few months until we can take it back.
It's an honor.
So
You have a speech prepared?
yeah, do you have
I
anything?
mean, I'd just like to thank everybody who's been a part of my life up to this point. I mean, they're just big factors in this. Never a doubt that this wasn't going to be mine at the end.
Mm-hmm.
I got self-confidence, confidence in my ball knowledge, and that's why we're here.
Yeah, absolutely. You wanted to thank LeBron as well?
Oh, yeah. Thank LeBron for still putting up numbers at 41.
41.
Driving factor in my life as well.
So we have the standings on the board. Miles obviously took the win, followed by Michael, and Bruce was third.
I have Michael and Bruce.
And Sadiq was fourth. Shout out Sadiq as well. And then I was able to take the win against James. I think it ended up being a 10-point game. So definitely pretty close.
Very close.
I think the percentages are up there too. I don't have them written down, but I think we were both in the 60s. I think I was high 60s, you were mid 60s. So still, if you were betting on our picks the whole time, you would have made some serious cash. All right. Anyway,
Pass out.
yeah, for real. NFL picks time, wildcard edition. So you got scores as well. Do you know your scores, or are you just kind of winging it?
Not winning it.
All right. Well, I'll give you time to think about it then. James, what's your pick? Rams Panthers.
Okay.
I think this game's closer than people expect in the first half. Like, I think Carolina can hang for a little bit. Eventually, I think the Rams' firepower it overpowers the Panthers straight up. Like, Panthers got them in the regular season kind of on a whim.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So, it's possible it could happen again, but I'm going to go with the Rams in a revamped kind of situation. 31-21. Sean McVay moves on.
Yeah, I probably would have changed my score if I remembered they beat them already. But also, they beat them already. They're not beating them again. I think the Rams, they're just a way better team. I think they're going to be more prepared for this one than they were, obviously, last time. Probably came in a little cocky. I think Bryce Young's going to have another dud game because that's what he basically does every game at this point. Versus Rams defense, that is playing at a really high level. So, I got Rams 31, Panthers 13.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I also have the Rams, but I think it's going to be a closer game. Like you said, first half. But I got the Rams 27-16.
Okay.
I do think...
How do they reach 16 points? They had three field goals?
A touchdown, 3 field goals.
Okay.
I think the Rams defense, D-line is going to come up huge. You already touched on that. I don't think it's going to be that close in the second half.
All
right, Packers-Bears, James.
Once again, I'm going to say it again, rivalry game. I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be really good offensively on the ground. I think will be like the deciding factor for both teams. I think they're both going to run the ball really well. But I think down the stretch, in my opinion, I'm going to take the better quarterback. So I'm going to go with the Bears. 20-24. And Ben Johnson.
Yeah, so you're going to see a recurring theme in my picks. It's like the teams that have been here before, right? Like the Packers, they've been here before. They've won multiple playoff games in the Jordan Love era. The Bears, they haven't been in the playoffs at all for a few years. Definitely Caleb Williams' first game. I think this is going to be a really well-played game by both sides. I think it's going to be very fun to watch. But at the end of the day, I think Green Bay is going to find a way late to win this game. I got 24-21 Packers.
Yeah, I'm going the Bears direction here. I think they've looked better recently. Josh Jacobs obviously been slow. I know he's on my fantasy team.
Legitimately slow, too.
Yeah, he's been hurt. I don't think they have much going for them. They can contain Jordan Love. I think the Bears will have an easier time with this. So I have the Bears 24-21 in a closer game.
All right.
But I do think it'll come down to them running out the clock.
You can just copy off my score some more.
I feel like it's interesting. He took the Bears.
I know, but it's the same score.
Oh, I think it's interesting in this one because we looked at the Packers like the last 3 weeks of the regular season, and they had so much like injuries and weird things happening. Like they had the freaking Malik Willis game that they lost. Like Malik Willis looked like genuinely like a top 5 quarterback in the league in that game, and they lost. Josh Jacobs has not. Yeah, he got hurt, but Josh Jacobs has not looked good. Right? Like there's just a bunch of like weird things happening with the Packers the last 3 weeks that I don't like trust them going into the playoffs. Now, if they return to what the Packers were the first freaking 6 weeks of the season, that would look the best team in football. So they go back to that for sure. I think the Packers can like go a really long way. I just haven't seen it. It's weird. Like you haven't
since Micah went out, it's been like a different.
Also,
team.
Sure, yeah, Micah. Like it just feels like a weird team.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna get that good, but I think you're gonna see a team that's ready to play. But
I had them ready.
I could stand corrected. LaFleur, yeah, he will have them ready. All right, Bills, Jags.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, harder game for me to pick than I thought originally. Like I thought I was.
I've seen a lot of people picking the Jags.
Yeah, I thought I was just gonna go Bills. Right, like off everything, I was just like Bills. But then I started like looking into the game a little bit more. I started breaking down. I watched a Jaguars game. Like I watched some of their highlights from beginning of the year just to kind of see like the difference. And it's low key not as different as people think. And what I'm trying to say is like the Jaguars have been this team the entire year. It hasn't just been like the second half of the season. They were good. I know they were good at the start of the year. They were just winning more closer games. They weren't being respected as much. And I think coming into this game, Jaguars offense being so hot, I think they keep it really, really, really close. And I think it comes down to a last-second field goal, and I think the Jaguars upset the Bills, 27-30.
All right. So what's the thought of like putting the Bills score first in that one?
What?
Because like usually
27-30 because it's the home team.
The home team gets last.
Yeah, it's on the right.
Interesting. All right. We're not gonna go into that again. Anyway, I think this is gonna be a really close game. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun to watch the entire game. But I think late in the game, the Jags offense is gonna do all they can. But I think Josh Allen, James Cook, they just take over this game in the fourth quarter. I think final score is Bills 34, Jags 24. But a really good, well played game.
Same thing. I'm taking the playoff experience here with Josh Allen. I think they probably just continue the second round. I do think it's going to be a good game because the Jaguars obviously 13-4, they have a great season, but I think it's still going to be roughly like Bills 31, Jags 23. That's kind of my prediction.
You're kind of running around my scores a little bit here.
It's weird. I fell in love with the Jaguars watching some of their highlights and like looking at their team again. Like I genuinely fell in love with their team. Like their team is really, really fun. And I don't think I even gave him enough respect in the regular season.
Yeah, and I think looking back at this futures draft, at the fact that they didn't even get picked, like we picked the Browns, we picked the Bengals, we picked the Giants, we picked the Vikings, and we picked the Falcons. We didn't pick the Jaguars. Part of just my propaganda on this show for the first 3 quarters of the season of just the Jaguars suck and it's not sustainable, which was wrong. And I probably wish I would have picked them over the Bengals, but that's okay. Whatever. Eagles Niners.
Once again, a hard game for me to pick. I went Eagles originally. I ended up switching my pick to Niners just because I have trusted them this whole year and it has worked out in my favor. So I'm going to do it again. I'm going to trust Brock Purdy. I think Brock Purdy down the stretch makes plays, and I think that's what wins them the game. I think the 49ers defense plays pretty well. I got 24-21. I just think Jalen Hurts and maybe a couple Eagles players on offense could make a couple mistakes down the stretch. Like, it's very possible. Now, he's been here before. I get that. But I think that San Francisco got better coaching. I think they got better offensive weapons, and I think their defense is going to play harder in this one. Not harder than the Phillies defense, but like they're going to play harder to their standards. So I think the Niners squeak one out in a really hard place to play, but I can see this one going either way for sure.
Yeah, this is a really tough game to pick. Niners have looked really good recently, but then the game last week, and I know that Philly defense is going to be able to watch that film. They'll be able to get up, and they're going to be able to play a good game because they're just so good and so talented. And with the film on, with the Seahawks film on tape, it's going to be it's easier for them to make big stops. And I just think looking at the Eagles this year, like they've slipped up a lot, but they always find a way to win big games. I feel like that Bills game, right? And they didn't beat the Packers earlier this season when they were good. So like they just find a way to win big games even when they don't play up to their standards. Like they just find a way. I think their defense is really going to step up in this game. And them being at home also kind of put it over the edge for me. I got Eagles 20, Niners 14.
This is an opportunity for the Niners to kind of get their get back from last year where everybody was hurt and that was a really ugly game to watch. I do think the Eagles defense is going to stop the Niners more than the 49ers defense will stop the Eagles, which is why I'm going to go in a kind of high-scoring game, 31-28.
Interesting. You picked the Eagles. All right. Patriots, Chargers.
Once again, like we said, the 3 games in this middle tier are really hard to pick, the 3 games on Sunday. I'm going to go with the Patriots. I'm not insanely confident with it, but I'm going to go 34-27. I think it's a high-scoring game. I personally believe that the Patriots have better coaching. I think they have better quarterback play. I think they don't have as many weapons, but I think they have a better defense. So I'm going to go with the Patriots just because I think they've proved a lot more to me this season. Now, if the Chargers come out there and Justin Herbert looks like the best quarterback in football, which he can at times, then yeah, the Chargers will walk away with this one. But I'm going to go with the Patriots, and I'm going to go with Drake May to have a really good game and be very poised for this moment.
Yeah, I picked the Patriots too, and my score has a little symbolism here. Okay, so I think Drake May is going to play extremely well. I think he's going to be just the same guy he's been this whole season, right? Just mistake-free, plays really well. And they scored 28 points. And I think Justin Herbert and the Chargers, so that's 4 touchdowns, right? Justin Herbert and the Chargers, I think they're going to move the ball really well. They're going to look good down the field, and then when they get close, Justin Herbert's going to get pressured, and he's going to go down. And so I got the Chargers scoring 16 points, which is how many scores?
2.
4 scores. Well, I was thinking touchdown, 3 field goals.
You're right.
Not 2 2-point conversions. Right? So, say 4 scores. So each team gets 4 scores, but the Patriots punch it in, and the Chargers Herbert gets sacked a lot, and but he gets sacked a lot deep in territory, and they ended up with 3 field goals instead of those being touchdowns, which could keep them in this game. So I got Patriots 28, Chargers 16.
Yeah, I'm not going to overcomplicate this. It's Patriots 31, Chargers 16 for me. I think the Patriots
My scores again.
Right.
30. You didn't have them scored 31.
I had the 16 for the Chargers.
I think the Patriots just play better. Runner-up for MVP, Drake May, is going to have a good game. I think Diggs maybe goes over 100 yards, but I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, I agree. I think it'll be a fun game.
I think Stafford might have sold the MVP down the stretch.
Dude, no, I don't.
Like, genuinely.
Yeah, I think it's possible, but I still think they're going to give it to Stafford just at the age he's doing it at. It's pretty insane. Like, I think they'll give it to him just because he has been the MVP, right? Like, if it's a full season award, he has been, truly. Now, Drake May's been incredible, too, but it's a really close race and a really good race. Like, 2 really good, like, I don't know, just totally...
It's different.
It's
a breath of fresh air.
It's very weird, like, the quarterback race this year. It's not like Mahomes and Josh.
Give it to Josh Allen. Josh Allen deserves it. Josh Allen, number 1, Justin Herbert, number 2. No, but I think Stafford probably wins it, but honestly, lately I've been leaning more Drake May. I think, not as I think obviously I do Stafford's better, but I think Drake May could absolutely win this award because just the way he's playing, and the way he played down the stretch, and the way Savage played down the stretch, obviously with the interceptions, like the 3-pick game against the Falcons, had like 5 interceptions in 3 games. So I think he was definitely going to win. Until then, now it's going to be a very close race. Anyway, Texans Steelers.
Whew. This is a game that, like you said earlier, I don't think is going to be very fun to watch. I think Rodgers is going to be on the ground a lot of the night. I think the Texans are going to show why they're the best defense in football, and it's not close. And I think C.J. Stroud plays pretty well. I think they're able to run the ball decently well. The Pittsburgh defense this year has just not been up to par with what it has been in recent years, and I think that shows in this one. I'm going to go 23-10 Texans. I just think I think the Steelers are kind of out of it in the first quarter. I just think the Texans get to them a lot, and the defense shows up. Boring game, though.
Yeah, this is like the perfect game if you're doing something Monday night to like have it on the background, like, but doing something with the boys, and then you look up every 10 minutes and the score's always the same. You don't have to be locked in, right? And I think this Houston defense is going to dominate the Steelers just in all facets of the way that they possibly can. And I think this is going to be a really ugly game. Houston gets it done. They control the game. I got 17-6, Texans over Steelers.
So this is interesting because I picked the Bills over the Jaguars for experience, and I'm going to pick the Steelers over the Texans for the same reason.
Okay.
It's in
Experience doing what? Losing in the playoffs?
You have Aaron Rodgers on your team.
I guess.
It's in Pittsburgh. You can kind of control the atmosphere there. I do think if the Steelers have a terribly slow start, this could get really ugly. If they come out like first drive of the game, get a touchdown, I think it go very different. I got Steelers 28, Texans 23. That's mine.
I mean, C.J. Stroud.
It's 1,000% possible. Like,
C.J. Stroud's won a playoff game every season of his career. Has Aaron Rodgers won a playoff game in every season of his career?
it's like 20 years.
My point.
Okay.
Anyway, so if you want to, win a lot of money this week, bet what Miles was picking because he is the GOAT at picking. Or one of the top 3 behind, obviously. Or maybe not behind, but along with Jacob and Luke Duval. But, I think he's got the highest percentage. Jacob might have gotten... I think Jacob got 13 for 16, I think. And you got 13 for 15. So, I don't know. It was something like that. I don't really remember. And then Duval was not very good. He got 9 of something, and he won somehow. I don't know.
It might have been 9 of 13 or something.
Yeah, I think it was 9 of 13, and he ended up winning. So, thank you, Miles. Appreciate it. You can take that home with you, man.
Yeah, thank you so
That's crazy.
much.
Bro can take that home. Dang, we missed it on the pod.
This means so much to me
What's
and
his name
me and my
again?
family.
Our trophy, did we name him?
No, I don't think we can. Miles can name him.
Did the Kobe picture?
Yeah, this could be fun. All right, time for dog of the week.
Dog of the week!
All right, my dog of the week is Fernando Mendoza.
Biggest dog.
He's a quarterback. He plays for Indiana, if you didn't know. He went 17 for 20 for 177 yards and 5 touchdowns. He also had 28 rush yards and a couple big rushes. Not, as big as the game as a rush could be in a 56-22 win over number 5 Oregon. That's more touchdowns than incompletions for the second straight game. Over the last 2 games, he has 8 touchdowns, 5 incompletions. And he led number 1 Indiana to a 15-0 record and a spot in the college football playoff title game. He's a dog.
So Charlie texted me and asked me who my dog was. And I said...
I wanted to pick... I didn't know who was in the pick.
Yeah, and I was like, well, it's not from the Indiana-Oregon game. So then he went and picked Mendoza. Because I remembered, thinking, oh, I'm going to pick this guy for my dog of the week. And I didn't write it down. So I had to, go back and remember who it was. Mine is Keelan Marion, the receiver for Miami. If you watched him play on the last drive of that game, he looked like the best receiver in college football. He was getting open. He was coming back to balls. He was making big plays. He was breaking tackles. In the whole game, he had 7 receptions for 114 yards and a touchdown. And they went to him 4 times on that last drive. 4 times out of 7 receptions, 4 times on that final drive where they went to go win a national title. They were bracketing Malachi Toney on the final drive, which makes sense. He is the most talented receiver on the field. So he couldn't really get open. So it went into Marion's hands. He had one-on-one coverage most of the way on the field when they were playing man. And he just was clutch a lot of this year. He's a senior. I think he came from BYU, I'm pretty sure. He was a transfer coming in. But I think he get kind of overshadowed in this offense from C.J. Daniels and Malachi Toney, how good they have been this year. Keelan Marion's been really good, too. So they've got kind of a 3-headed snake there. He played great, and he sent his team to a national title, him and Carson back on that final drive.
Yeah, if you would have told me Mendoza, which I thought was what you were going to say, but I was going to go to that game. I probably would have picked Fletcher, but like
Fletcher's good too.
because he had like 6 yards per carry or something. That's really why they won the game. But Marion was gonna be. I was gonna really think about it because like I saw his stat line. I was like, wow, like this guy. Like they were playing really good defense on Malachi Tony. They were. I mean, C.J. Daniels was kind of banged up. Wasn't really himself. And Marion stepped up and was able to make play after play after play. They were giving him space. They were not turning their attention to him enough, and he was able to make them pay. So a really big part of this game. And I was just noticing the whole game. Right, you were noticing how this guy was getting involved and making big plays. I wanted to go see like how many of his catches were on third down, but I didn't feel like doing that.
A lot.
It was probably a lot of them.
Maybe like half of them, genuinely.
Yeah, so big game for him. That was a great dog. Dog.
Yeah, and this is about Keelan Marion, but I do want to shout out Malachi Tony. I don't think we've given him enough credit. Like we've picked him as key players a couple times, but like this kid is 18 years old.
Ryan Williams was 17.
He is okay.
So is he really good?
He's way better than Ryan Williams. Like he is on a different level. The fact that
the
fact that he was 12 years old when Carson Beck enrolled at Georgia might sum up college football perfectly. So Malachi Tony has been pretty awesome, and I just want to shout him out. I want to shout out the whole Miami team.
Yeah, he's been great, and he was able to make some big plays too in this game.
Yeah.
Even though
that touchdown was insane.
Even though he was getting a lot of attention. Yeah, that touchdown was really good.
That touchdown was like the yards after the catch was insane.
Yeah, it was a screen.
Well, I know what I'm saying. Yards after the catch were insane.
Anyway, the way he was able to like just glide through those tackles was good. All right. Yeah, thank y'all for listening. We're having another one next week. Talk about the national championship game, and talk about the divisionals. Might be one of the best episodes of the year.
Probably.
Because we had divisional round, which is the best week of football, best week in NFL football, and then along with the national title game. So, no guest picker next week because we're done for the year.
Yeah.
We'll have our next guest on, I guess, in March or April. So.
Wild.
Yeah.
All
See
right.
y'all then. All right. Peace.
Peace.